we still have a couple people waiting in the lobby. So our outreach team, TRC, will continue to admit those folks. But I think we can go ahead and get started. First of all, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Cheryl Donohue, the Public Affairs Manager for the Riverside County Transportation Commission. Thank you all very much for attending today's briefing. We've invited representatives from our emergency responders in the area, as well as reps from the local cities and legislative offices, RTA, and probably a host of others that I have not mentioned, but consider this kind of a global welcome to all of you. I know everyone's busy, but we do have some important information that we want to relay about an upcoming closure of all lanes on the 91 the weekend of January 21st. That will be the focus of the meeting, I will provide some general information about the project for those of you who would benefit from just having that high-level overview. So I'm now going to go around and we can do self-introductions. This is always so much easier when we're in a room and can go one by one around the table. We have a few folks who have called in, so maybe we can start with them. I see a phone number ending in 99. So if you can introduce yourself. All right, we'll go ahead and skip 99, and can we go to phone number 00? Oh, okay, it looks like we have.
Good morning.
Okay.
This is Glenn.
Welcome. And the phone number ending in 78, if you can intro yourself. Okay, we'll skip that for now. And then just going down the list, we have from the city of Corona, Aaron Cox. Aaron, if you're here, just give us a wave.
Hello.
Morning. Adam indicated that he is on the call, but doesn't have a microphone. So we have Representative Amanda Fisher from Senator Melendez's office. So welcome, Amanda.
Hello, everyone.
Our friend Brad Weaver from Riverside Transit Agency is here.
Good morning, everybody.
Brian Kunanen, my coworker at RCTC, who handles our Freeway Service Patrol program. Brian.
Morning.
We have Brittany Faust from Corona Norco Unified. Brittany, you waiting? We have Wayne Brown from our public outreach team. Looks like Will Bryant from CAL FIRE.
Good morning.
Wendell Bug. Good morning and welcome. Wendell Bugtie from Supervisor Spiegel's office. We have Chase Rados from our contracting team.
Hello.
And you'll be hearing more from Myers Rados joint venture as part of our presentation. Cindy Solis from the city of Corona.
Morning.
Colin Markovich, also sorry, my screen's, it looks like from Assemblymember Cervantes's office.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be here.
Morning. Cynthia Marquez is here. Cynthia.
Good morning.
And then I have a D. Yeager listed as well.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Next we have Frank Ray. I realize some of you may not have microphone capability, so I'll just jump to the new one, but feel free to chime in. George Velasco, I believe from Kaiser.
Yes, good morning, everybody.
Morning. And I think Glenn Miller, he may have introduced himself already. Jeff Green from Supervisor Jeffrey's office.
I was told to read donuts and coffee.
Sorry, Jeff. Sorry for the false intel that you got. So you can have a virtual donut and a virtual cup of coffee. From Caltrans, we have Tron Wong.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning. Janessa Sanchez also joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning. Jim Neekins, also from Riverside Transit Agency. And John Terrasio, also known as JT, from our Bechtel and construction team.
Hello. Thanks.
We have Kelly Newton from the city of Corona, or excuse me, city of Norco, apologize. Moving down the list, Michelle or Shelley Kennedy from TRC, our outreach team. Jason Lemons from our project management team.
Good morning.
Margaret Meadows from Ariano Associates, who's performing outreach for the design builder. We also have Matt Evans joining us. Matt.
Good morning.
Good morning. Michelle Miller from TRC. Nikki Miranda is also with us. And then Ryan Ralston.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Sam from RTA. Sorry, Sam, I'm not going to attempt the last name. Thank you for joining us. Steve
Morning.
Paul. Good morning. Steve Paul is here as well.
Hello, everyone.
And Dat Wong from Caltrans.
Good morning.
If I have skipped over your name, I do apologize. Feel free to jump in and introduce yourself if I have skipped you. So.
Hi, this is Ariel with RCTC. Ariel Alcontapia with RCTC.
I'm sorry, Ariel. I missed over you. And you're way back up the A's, so I must have.
I logged in late.
All right. Okay. Wanted now to go ahead and ask Wayne to pull up our PowerPoint presentation. As I mentioned, I'm going to give just a higher level overview of the project and our upcoming closure. And then after I go through my 9 slides, and I'm going to pass the ball to Josh from our MRJV team, and he can go into some of the specifics about what to expect that weekend. I see it, but can you make it larger on the screen, Wayne? All right. Okay, if you guys can give me a thumbs up and just confirm that you can see what I'm seeing on the screen, wave or show me your thumbs. All right, thank you so much. Again, I appreciate everyone being here today. Wayne, if you can go into the next slide. I wanted to share just a little bit about RCTC. A lot of times when we have these meetings, we kind of jump right into the details, but I just wanted to take one step backward to share a little bit about the role of our agency. So the Riverside County Transportation Commission is a multimodal transportation agency. We're responsible for planning transportation programs and helping secure funding for those to support our county's overall quality of life. Some of you may report to your various boards or council members that have 5 or 7 or a somewhat manageable number. We are governed by 33 elected officials. We have a mayor or council member from each of the cities in Riverside County, plus all 5 members of the Board of Supervisors comprise our commission. We focus on highways, local streets, bridges and grade seps, passenger rail, including the Metrolink system, and then we provide funding for 7 bus systems across Riverside County. We also administer Measure A. This was a twice voter approved half-cent sales tax that we collect on purchases in Riverside County, and we use those funds for major projects for public transit, and then also to help out with projects that local cities are using for their capital improvements. So next slide, Wayne. So big picture overview for this project is that RCTC is working as a partner with our colleagues at Caltrans to build this express connector. I think most of you know or should know that we have the 91 express lanes that we opened back in March of 2017 in Riverside County. And then last year in April, we opened the 15 express lanes. We have a missing link that is shown on the screen in kind of that gold orange color. So that's the express lanes connector that we're building to link the 2 systems from southbound 15 express lanes to the westbound 91, and then the opposite movement on the eastbound 91 express lanes to northbound 15. We had originally planned to build that as part of our 91 project, the one that we opened back in March of 2017. But as we were working on the planning for that, we were coming out of the Great Recession and realized that we didn't have enough funding to build all of the pieces of that mega project. So we scaled back the project a bit, and this Express Lanes connector was one of the projects that was deferred until we could come up with some funding. And thanks to Senate Bill 132, which was sponsored in part by Assembly Member Cervantes and then also Senator Richard Roth, we were able to cobble together enough funding to build this project. And then we started that in April of last year. So, go ahead and go on to the next slide, please. So in addition to building that connector, we are extending our eastbound 91 express lanes a bit to the east, as well as a general purpose lane. I mentioned that we began construction last spring. We are going to open in 2023. We've invested $270 million toward this effort, and it's providing approximately 2,300 jobs in the construction, design, and management communities. Some of the benefits of the project is reducing the traffic congestion, improving operations of the 2 tolling systems, enhancing safety because people don't have to weave in and out to get into the correct lanes. If they're in the express lanes now, they'll have to get out, get into the general purpose lanes, and then get back into the express lanes. So with this connector, there'll be a nice seamless transition. And there also will lead to better travel time reliability between the systems because of that time savings. So during our first 12 months of construction, we have been working on a lot of our support structures. We've been building columns, the bridge abutments along the 91 and the southbound 15, and we've been widening and extending the 91 lanes toward the east. There's a couple photos there showing some of the work that we've been doing. And then the closure, which is the primary reason for gathering everyone today. We have 4 different closures that we will be planning in the next year. This coming closure is our very first one. And what we're doing is placing the false work or the support systems over westbound 91. At the end of this year, we'll be removing that false work, so we will be requiring another full closure of the westbound lanes. And then heading in the southbound direction on 15, we expect to be having a full closure of the southbound 15 lanes to build the false work over those lanes. And then at the end, in early 2023, in about a year from now, we'll be taking down that false work. So we're putting false work up, taking it down on the 91 lanes, and then putting the false work up and taking it down on the southbound 15 lanes. So this will be our first closure, and stay tuned for specific dates on those other three. Obviously, we want this first closure to go well and to serve as a template for the other ones that are coming our way. So the dates that we have, and I apologize, I cannot say with total certainty that these dates will be occurring. Like a whole lot of other things connected to COVID, we have been experiencing more than normal staffing shortages and just general issues with supply chain. But as of now, we are anticipating that the closure will be Friday, January 21st. So that's a week from tomorrow, starting at 9 p.m. and then going until Monday, January 24th at 5 a.m. It's also depending upon weather. The next slide will provide some detours. We do have support from our Freeway Service Patrol roadside assistance and the CHP. Signs are up, and if you aren't already doing so, please make sure that you register for our construction updates. You can do that either through email or text messaging. And if you have constituents, please encourage them to register for that important information. The info comes out at the end of each week for the following week's activities. So next slide, Wayne. And I think this is my last slide before I toss the ball to Josh. But we have two primary, or I guess primary is not the right word, for two main detours that we are asking motorists to follow. One is to head, it's the blue one that's shown on your screen. So if you're traveling on westbound 91, you can take northbound 15, exit Hidden Valley Parkway, go across the freeway, then get back on southbound 15, and then transition to the westbound 91. Or you can do the other movement to the south. If you're going on westbound 91, you can take southbound 15, get off at Magnolia, cross the freeway, get on northbound 15, and then head over to westbound 91. So fairly simple detours, but better than using the detours is to avoid the area altogether. If you do need to use the detours, we are telling people that they will experience some delays, so they will need to allow for extra travel time, and just be careful when they're following those detour routes. So next, I'd like to turn the presentation over to Josh DeBala from Myers-Rados Joint Venture. He's a design builder for the project and can talk some more about the specifics. So I'm going to turn that over. I'm going to go on mute. So thank you, Josh.
All right. Can you give me some of those cool little thumb up things? Make sure you guys hear me. I don't see any yet. Oh, I'm getting, okay, there they are. All right. So I'm going to try to share my screen. I think I can do this here. All right. So can you guys see there's a blue beam program with a picture of the interchange? Give me some thumb ups if you can.
Yes, it looks good.
Okay. All right. Well, a little bit about myself. I'm the construction manager for MRJV. I apologize for my voice. I've lived in Corona for 20 years, pretty involved with the community. All my kids have either went to high school in the area or currently do go to high school. And I coach basketball at Norco High School. So I obviously understand the impacts that, construction can have. And as I've lived here through the past several projects. But to my voice, we played Centennial last night and we kind of got our butts kicked. So I'm having a rough go at it with voice this morning. So bear with me. What we have here is the interchange. I'm just going to go through some basic. It's north 15, south 15, 91 west, 91 east. For this closure, as you see here, the yellow highlight, which should pop up, that's pretty much what will be closed. The work area itself is this green area, and then a picture should have popped up in the left that kind of shows a configuration that we have. So while the yellow is what's going to be closed, the green is where the main work area is happening. Then I'll go through, so eastbound 91, you should see the red arrows pop up, that's open. Southbound 15, open. Northbound 15, open. Eastbound 91 to northbound 15 ramp remains open. Northbound 15 to westbound 91 remains open. Westbound 91 to northbound 15, open. Westbound 91 to southbound 15, open. Northbound 15 to eastbound 91, open.
Hey Josh, can I pause you just a second? I don't know, it could just be me, but I'm not seeing your screen. I don't know if everybody else is seeing it. So is everyone seeing it? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Just me. So, all right, thank you.
All right, I will continue. Southbound 15, yeah, if someone's not seeing something, just interrupt. Southbound 15 to westbound 91, there should be flashing red arrows, that's open. And then the current express lane configuration should be open. So eastbound 91, westbound 91, although it'd be tough to get into it through the closure. And then eastbound 91 to southbound 15 and northbound 15 to westbound 91. So in general, I mean, my point, there's still a lot open. Obviously, this is a big closure. There's detours that are getting around, but there's still the, facilitation of the rest of the facilities for the freeway are open. I want to go into a little bit of what the work we have. So I'm going to go back and forth between two pictures. I'll kind of go slow here, but there should be a plan sheet that you see of this is what we call false work. So this is the westbound 91. Can you guys see the plan sheet? If Cheryl could nod yes, hopefully that would help. Or give me a thumb up. Or a yes.
You're good, Josh.
Okay, so I'm gonna go between two sheets here. There's a plan sheet here, and then there's a picture. So this is obviously westbound 91. This is where the closure is happening. So you should see a picture right now of our current false work towers. And we'll be setting beams across the false work towers, which I'll get into in a second. So back to the picture. There's a sequence which happens. Right now, we have those red towers are all built and up. So the yellow highlights that are coming on the sheet, yellow and green, is what we currently have in place. So I'm going to go back to the picture. So those yellow and green highlights are those reddish steel towers that are on either side of the freeway. All right. So now with the closure, we have to set beams across the freeway. So the sequence, you'll see there's an orange set of beams are going to get set. Hopefully you guys see the orange set of beams, see for effect. And then I'll go back to the picture, and then that's basically what you got. A set of beams are going to be set across the freeway. So back to the plan sheet. So we're going to sequence, and hopefully these beams are popping up in orange on your guys' sheet. And there'll be a sequence of all these beams getting set over the freeway. All right.
It's working, Josh.
Good. So once all those beams are set, that's our first phase of the closure is getting those beams set. So I'm going to go back to the picture. It's basically the same sequence, right? I'm just trying to kind of show what you guys will see or what it'll look like. So all these little red beams, there'll be a lot more than what I have here, but they'll go across the freeway.
I know.
All right.
But But the way they show is very good, huh?
All right, so once we get all the beams set across the freeway, then the next part we got to get set is the stringers, which is what the bridge is going to be built on. So once we have that, then you should start seeing red popping up. We have to go with cranes. There'll be cranes in the freeway, and they'll set all these red stringers all the way across. Hopefully you guys see in the plan sheet those red stringers going across the freeway.
You're good, Josh.
All right, so obviously it's a little more complicated. That's why we need 55 hours to do the work. There's buildups and adjustments and everything that needs to be made to make sure everything's at the right grade. So we build the bridge in the right vertical area. But there's pretty much that set. I gotta move out a second, I apologize. Oh, bear with me a second. But there'll be cranes set in different areas on the project, all right? So you'll see cranes. So while there isn't pedestrian or people access through, the road will be closed. If there's emergency type stuff that needs to happen, I just want to point out, you know, these beams get set one at a time. They get braced as we go, and then there'll be cranes, and cranes could get moved. So if there was a fire truck or a police car or something in some emergency that did need to get through, we could definitely facilitate that, make that happen, whether it's through the freeway or through the Main Street auxiliary area. All right, hold on a second. So these cranes will move in different locations depending on what they're doing, right? They may be off to the side, they may be in the middle of the bridge, middle of the road. They'll be all over the place, right? Moving whatever radiuses they need to set the beams. Back to the carriage set. So again, westbound freeway, everything will be over the freeway. I didn't have time to draw in all the stringers, but you know, back to the plan sheet, those red beams that are going across, you'll kind of have a situation like this. These orange beams will all be set across on top of these red beams. It'll make up the false work. Then in the background, you can kind of see that's what we call an abutment. That's the start of the bridge. And then the end of the bridge is actually in the middle of the 15. So once we are ready to get over the 15, we'll have a similar closure, just like this, doing almost this exact same process, but over the 15. So that'll be the second time we have to do this. And there'll be a third and a fourth, and it's basically to get all this material down, right? So once to put it up on the 91, once to put it up on the 15, once to take it down on the 91, once to take it down on the 15. And hopefully by that point, the bridge is complete. I think that's all I have. I can answer or help answer any questions if anyone has anything. Or if I didn't address something, Wayne, Cheryl, let me know, or you guys can take it over.
Any questions from the group? I know he's provided a lot of information, good information, so it's a great time to ask questions.
Hey Josh, this is Ryan Ralston from Corona Fire. How you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Good. Quick question for you. I was actually a truck captain during the time of the flyover construction, and we did effect a rescue of a worker that injured their leg. We actually utilized the crane, but I guess my question is what is the maximum height off of the ground that you guys are going to be operating at with this project? And would we have access to get our aerial ladder trucks in there? We have 100-foot aerial ladder trucks. In the event that workers are going to be up there, and we had a similar event, just because it's happened in the past.
Yeah, we're a little lower here because we're going under the connector bridges instead of over. So I think we're less than 30 feet in most cases for what we have right here. If we needed to get a ladder truck in there, I don't see an issue with that. We should be able to get a truck in the area.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Real quick, I think the best, so it's kind of a weird deal in the sense we're in the middle of everything. So regardless, you know, whether it's our crews, an emergency, you kind of have to get through the closure to get to the work area, if that makes sense. It's not like you can take a side street and come through a dirt area because we're in the middle of the freeway. So I think the best route, if for some reason, let's say we had an emergency and we had to get to the job, would be from the Hidden Valley area, from the 15 south, and then either take the South 15 to West Connector and come through this, hopefully you guys can still see my screen, you know, get through this big contour area here to the project. So that would be my recommended course if for some reason someone random had to get to the project or an emergency situation.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'll include that with response information for the department. And then I would just ask from your end, and I'm more thinking for the safety of your personnel, in the event somebody did get hurt, when you call 911 and you're given the instruction to dispatch, just give them the approach, like best access information. And then if you have a flagger that can get us in there, that'd be helpful. That's all I got for you. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. No, good comments. Thank you.
Josh, you might remind him that there's an opening in the K-rail safety area there coming off that connector that they can get in pretty easily.
Yeah, we'll have multiple, and we should have enough people to the point of flagging, or when we know something needs to be in there, of getting someone in and around, right? I mean, that'll be something we discuss and talk about in our hazard analysis meetings and safety meetings prior to the operation.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Just wanted to thank you for the briefing. I admit I had this closure completely confused with the Green River closure from last weekend on the 91, and I didn't realize there was a second one. So thank you very much.
Understandable, Jeff. We knew that we had two separate westbound 91 closures occurring in a short amount of time. So we were trying to kind of separate the communications and not get too far ahead of this one until we got through the one last Friday night over by Green River. So thank you for attending and getting up to speed on this. Just for the public information folks on the line, we will be kind of rolling out a lot of information over the next 5-6 days, including on social media. So any help that you can provide in sharing that information so that that goes to your followers would be really appreciated. So Shelley from our team is getting ready to start pushing those out. So very soon. Josh, are you handling the chain of command slide that's up on the screen?
I can run through it real quick. I mean, we'll, just for so everyone knows, we'll make sure this is updated and out. We probably need Wayne, Cheryl, make sure we have everyone's information so we can push this out if there's any changes. But we'll have 2 shifts. There'll be a day and a night shift. There'll be project superintendents that are in charge. There'll be 2 different types of operations going. The superintendents themselves will be in charge of the structure work, so what's going on at the bridge. And then the traffic foreman, and there'll be another side superintendent that'll be in charge of traffic operations, managing the closure and stuff like that. And then of course we have the engineering team that supports them. So there'll be a day side. So right now you have Junior, Randy, and Jeff. And there'll be a night side, Tim, Todd, and Jose. If that gets updated, obviously we'll update and get the information out. On the management side, that's the next level up. So we have Dale Yeager, who is the project manager for MRJV. Myself as a construction manager. Roy Fisher, who is the construction manager for the owner, RCTC. And then Michael Serga, John Merrill, specifically traffic, and then Nikki Miranda, safety. So that's kind of how it works. If there is an issue, you can always call me and we can talk and figure it out and get it to the right person if we can't figure out who the right person is. But this will be updated, and we'll get the most up-to-date next Tuesday out to everyone, so everyone has it.
Okay, we can help push that out to everybody who is part of this group, just so that you all have the very latest and greatest next week after we get through the holiday.
Hey, Josh,
So
sorry to interrupt. I had a few more questions from Fire too that came in from some other callers.
Yeah.
The first one is just confirming it's going to be a 24-hour operation, and then how many people do you have on site, roughly?
This will be a 55-hour operation, so the operation starts Friday night and goes into Monday morning. And all 4 of these we having are the same deal. I apologize, I probably could have got into that. So there's basically 5 shifts. So there, it starts with a night shift. There'll be a Friday work day, but there'll be a Friday night shift, a Saturday day, a Saturday night, a Sunday day, Sunday night. Obviously, if we have basically what I went through, we have to get complete in this closure. Have to, I guess. That's the goal, is to get it complete, because we don't want to have to do this again. So right now we're looking to take the 5 shifts. Between crews, the whole thing, I probably got, let me look back, 10, 20, I would say there'll be around 50 people here per each shift.
Okay.
So I was 50 to 60, in the day, 50 to 60 in the night. We're kind of have an all hands on deck, and that's construction people. They're also being, there's inspectors, multiple inspection teams, owner reps, stuff. So the total number is probably a little higher, but contractor wise, I would say 50 to 60 per shift.
Okay, thanks. That gives us a good ballpark. And then the last question was response for our Corona Engine 4 from McKinley. If they need to access the Westbound 91 to start responding, is that going to be a full closure? Like, will the engine be able to get on at McKinley going westbound, or will they have to go eastbound and turn around at Pierce to then head westbound on the 91?
If Steve Falk is on, it can help, but the McKinley, I'm pretty sure, is closed. The on-ramp is closed, but if you had to get on the ramp, you could remove the sign and get on the freeway. Does that make sense? Like we have to get on construction wise, but you would have to make sure the stuff gets put back, because we just don't want anyone following you in the closure or something like that. Maybe a phone call needs to be made to someone, but we could give you access if it's closed. Same with getting on the westbound. When you get through, obviously we have to close the freeway in a way that someone that makes bad decisions can't get through and hurt someone, right? But you still got to have access through. So.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. We were just curious. Yeah, and if it's signage and we can drive around it, move it, pull past it, and close it again and head to the incident, we'll make sure we pass that on. So I appreciate that info.
Steve, I just want to make sure I'm not misspeaking. Does that seem pretty in line?
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. The ramp won't be blocked physically by construction activities, but just by closed signs. And then once you get on the freeway, it's obviously the freeway closure. Now, I know that Josh had mentioned the southbound from Hidden Valley in through the work area. That is typically the way it is configured right now. Open to traffic on the ramp, open to traffic on the connector, and then open through a K-rail opening into the contour area. And there wouldn't be any barricades or signs necessarily that need to be moved in that route.
Hey, Josh, it looks like we have a couple of hands raised. One from Will Bryant. If that's a current, you still have a question, Will, can you ask that?
Yeah, I had a couple, and Ralston actually beat me to one about westbound McKinley. Obviously, if we have the county that's going to assist Corona Fire, they're going to come from multiple different directions. So sounds like westbound 91 will be an option for county resources coming from the Riverside area. Southbound 15, we might get stuff from Norco or even Harupa, and they might miss that little turnoff. Did you mention there will be either flag people there or an opening along the southbound 15 to westbound 91 if they happen to miss that little dirt road that you're talking about?
There's an opening. The idea is not to just have a flag person sat there, but if we knew something was coming, we could have someone go over and make sure it wasn't missed.
Yeah, I guess that's what I mean. If you do have an emergency, if you could keep in mind to put somebody there to kind of wave in resources that might not be immediately available. We're a countywide agency. We could have any number of person from any location working overtime at any station. So just in the rare chance somebody from Palm Desert's working overtime in Norco and was unaware of this, it would probably be helpful to position somebody at those alternate openings.
10-4.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Will. Brad from RTA, looks like he had his hand up as well. So Brad, do you have a question?
Yeah, hey Josh, Brad here from RTA. Hey, just want to make sure the eastbound 91 is not closed. We're only talking about westbound, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And it looks like, we're going to obviously have to reroute our buses and detour. But so we're looking again, Friday, January 21st, beginning at 9 p.m. through Monday, January 24th till 5 a.m. That's your construction, your closure period, correct?
Yeah, I think it's actually 10, but the full closure, I think, starts at 10, but maybe I'm.
Okay.
Josh, they said they would start taking down lanes probably around 9.
Yeah,
and
lanes.
have full closure by 10 o'clock.
There you
go. Okay. And then again, westbound 91 between McKinley and Maine, that's the closed area. And as far as we're concerned, so we can reroute between those streets, correct? That sounds right?
Yeah, I mean, essentially you're closed to Lincoln because you have that. I mean, you can get on at Maine, but the freeway, I guess, is closed to Lincoln. Like you'd be in that auxiliary area, if that makes sense.
Yeah, great. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure that I understand what you're doing. So thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you, Brad. Hey, Josh, are we having any lanes closed on eastbound 91 during that weekend, or are all lanes open on eastbound?
Yes, well, this is Steve. Yes, we'll have some lanes closed on the eastbound 91. The inside fast lanes will be closed on the Friday night and Saturday night, but not during the day.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'm trying to see if there's any other hands raised in my list here.
My anxiety level goes up.
Rather than me scrolling through the list, if anyone else does have a question, just take yourself off mute. Oh, look, I see Tran Wang from Caltrans.
Yeah, Josh, just have questions for the ramp that you divert the traffic to. They need to be adjusting timings so the queue won't back up on the main line so much.
There is some adjustments and timing stuff that's happened. It's been addressed in the traffic management plan. I don't have the specifics in front of me, but I know that has came up.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
I'm not sure if it's just still showing on my screen, but I still see Brad and Will's hands up. I'm not sure if those are additional questions or if just my queue hasn't cleared yet. But if you guys have other additional questions, then just speak up.
None for me.
Thanks, Brad.
Yeah, I did have a follow-up question. Sorry, I'm pulling double duty. I'm also in our command center. So in regards to the closure, throughout the year, is this the only one planned, or are we going to expect more of these similar closures throughout the year?
We'll have, there'll be more.
Yeah.
The second one is going to be on the 15. Right now is like the June-ish time frame. Then the third one, in theory, will be the 91, and that'll be end of the year, early the following year. And the fourth one, I would assume, would be shortly after that.
It
So,
probably
yeah,
goes without saying, we'll get an email for each of those or some type of heads up.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do another briefing and probably do something similar to like what we're doing today and the whole big outreach
I
push,
figured, but
for all of
we need
these.
to put the road closures into our CAD system for other responses in the area. So, all right, I think that's it. Thanks again.
Great, thank you. Looks like George Velasco from Kaiser, we have a question. George, did you mean to have your hand up? Or if not, then we can move on. But if you did, let us know.
I think he's on mute.
Sorry about that, you guys. I had to get off mute, I guess. We said that the closure is the 24th, or excuse me, 21st to 24th, but somebody indicated that was maybe not going to happen that day, or there was some reason why that was not 100% sure. Will we be notified if this changes, the dates change?
Yeah, you'll be notified. So just to be upfront, our two biggest deals are weather and COVID, right? So everyone's dealing with the COVID the best they can. But if all of a sudden we lost half our crews to COVID, obviously that would be a situation that would be hard to pull off something like this and be safe about it, right? So there's that. And then if we have a rain event like we had, I can't remember if it was around Christmas or whenever it was, that would obviously not allow us to close the road. But we're looking into both. We'll give out, as early of notice we can for if it wasn't going to go, and then obviously as much notice as we can of when the backup date would be. All right. Right now, the backup dates would hopefully be the following or the weekend after that. But right now, everything is moving forward. We have the people. Weather looks like it's going to cooperate with us, and we're going to go from there.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you. That helps. I mean, it makes it tough on the public outreach side for our work, but I think we've all been dealing with COVID for the last almost 2 years, so we know that this presents all kinds of challenges. So we're gonna hope for the best and plan, at least for now, that we'll be moving forward with the closure on the 21st. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, on a side, my family is in every Corona Facebook group or Instagram group. So if it does move, since you all know me now, I need you to all have my back and get positive comments and make sure we all go in the right direction politically.
Good point, Josh. Thank you. It helps to have you there as a local. Tran, did you have an additional
one more question. When do we expect to see the message about this closure on the CMS again? Are we expecting to be soon?
The date is there. It's real soon. Is Michael Serga on? Do you know if he's on? Maybe he can tell us what the exact date is, or Steve.
I think it's Friday. They were going to start tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, and the last slide that we have in our presentation, it's been up for a while, or the second to the last slide, sorry, Wayne, is just ways to stay connected to our projects. So we have our website, our helpline, our email address, how to text to get the construction updates, and then we're also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So thank you again to our city folks and others who share our posts. We will be tagging the area cities, and thanks in advance for any help that you can provide to share the word about this closure. We're confident that it will go well, and I do just want to thank again all of you for taking time out of your day to learn a little bit more about what's planned. I'll work with TRC, our outreach team, so that we can send out a link to today's presentation, this main one, as well as the animated slides that Josh provided. So if you can watch for that coming through. So we'll get that put together because we've had a couple of requests through the chat for the presentation. So we will work on that. Thank you again. If there's any final questions, comments, I'll go ahead and open up the floor again. If not, then enjoy the rest of your week.
Josh, just one question. I know that right now it's slated to happen at 9 o'clock this Friday. If the decision is made, you know, obviously for COVID reasons, I'm assuming that's going to be made early on in the day. And the reason I'm asking this is because a lot of us are going to build closures in our CADs to accommodate for the closure. But most of us that I think are making those changes are probably out of the office by 4 o'clock on Friday. So is it safe to say that, you know, if you have to take it down related to COVID, you would probably know early in the day if that was going to continue, you know, or if that was going to force the cancellation of the event? Because I just want to make sure we're getting notified as quickly as possible if the decision is made to cancel the project for the weekend.
I would say yes, it would probably be during the day, more than likely.
All right, perfect. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Thank you.
Just one last note, there's been a little conversation in the chat asking if there is a one-page summary that folks could push out to their contacts. Looks like Cindy Solis helpfully posted the link in the chat, that goes to our webpage that provides a one-page flyer that you all can use if you have your constituents or employees or others that you'd like to share that information with. So take a look at that. We'll also include it when we send out the links to the presentation. So, all right. Thank you all. Lots of good questions today. Enjoy the rest of your week and weekend, and you will be hearing back from us soon. Thank you.
Good luck, Josh.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.